Hello mercenaries, welcome back. I am Keejchen, and this is just going to be a short video of me explaining all the patch notes for the patches that have come between my night playthrough and my next playthrough, which will be the Hunter. It should be going up later today. I do hope that someone will find this useful, but if not, then no biggie. So let's dive on in. The first one we are covering is the patch 0.5710, new saving spots, which I thought initially I would be able to play with my Honor playthrough, but then they added the whole backwards compatibility thing, so we weren't able to use it. The main thing that changed is that it is now possible to save in brigand camps, which was a nice addition. We can open the map with the M key, which is nice. And let's just see. Maps were added to Elder Stock, which we could buy that in Arna's playthrough, so that it was sort of mixed, and it's really weird. Then they added a lot of art and visual changes. Balancing. Brigand camps now spawn depend on player level, which is interesting. I'm not sure I like this change, but it is what it is. Level adjustment, I call it. And then they've nerfed Yorgrim, which I think is the weakest character, so that's kind of interesting. Reduced damage taken by body parts, so it's a little bit less likely that we take body part damages. And then proselytes, mid-tier and high-tier brigands were buffed, as they didn't present much danger to +4 level characters. I don't know if this was effective in my Honor playthrough, but we should watch out for them. Then wolves are continually being nerfed and rebalanced. Here they get their rend flesh ability fixed, and they are going to be changed again in the next patch that we are also covering. Reduced durability and reduced jewelry drop rates from crypt urns. Increased golden teeth drop rates from wooden coffins. Antitoxin now more effective. And reduced toxicity of stardust, so that's more usable. I do think the stardust is a kind of iffy consumable, and I'm not super keen on using it, so this is a nice little buff. Anti-venom now produces extra poison resistance. Food spoilage rates were increased. That's more effective in my Honor playthrough. So the Honor playthrough was really weird. And economy. Many changes to default price modifier when selling items to NPCs. Alcohol was buffed because alcohol is supposed to be a valuable trade good, which I like that definitely. Medicine sells for more, and treatises, no one reads them anyway. So they were debuffed. All right, nerfed. All right, so then we go up. Then we had the save incompatibility patch that came out, or the hotfix that came out while I was playing my Honor playthrough, and that's why the whole thing was so messed up. There's a small change list to follow with it. You can now buy water skins, and Fly Agaric was boosted quite a bit, so it now lowers pain and gives pain resistance. Both accuracy was reduced. That's going to be important for the next playthrough. Then we have 05712 plus 05713 change lock. Alright, and then in here, more variations for brigand camps. Very nice. More variations, always nice. I haven't liked this one. Bugfishes and stability. Cursor collision. Fixed SFX of take aim skill. Doesn't really matter. Jonna's starting willpower is increased by 1. So now she has 8 starting attributes like any other character. Oh. And the innkeeper now pays even more for alcohol. Alright. Then we get to 0714. Fixed missing text for map and journal hotkeys in control menu. Alright. Fixed taste of victory not replenishing energy on kill. Don't know that stands. Heraldic Node now increases reputation with Osbrook and Manshire. And other removed golden candelabrum from Manshire Castle. I'm assuming that this is because people were farming the free golden candelabrum in the Manshire Castle. I think that's a good change. Let's rate this one up. Good. Then we come into the newest one, I think. Yeah. The newest big patch, which is 05715 changelog. And let's just dive in. Fixed being able to activate multiple instances of unwavering stance. I don't know this stance, so it's not super important for us. Fixed prologue debuff applying to proselytes in the adventure. Now they're pretty savage. So apparently proselytes has had a debuff because they were supposed to be easier in the tutorial, and it wasn't removed in adventure. So we have to watch out for proselytes. Destroying boulder via contact menu now takes 1 turn. That must be the boulder from Geomancy. So before you could apparently do it for free, as a free action. Now it takes a turn. Fixed some crashes. Fixed backpack trade exploit. Don't know that one. Runic boulder sustaining energy now scales for spells energy cost stat. Your actual sustaining energy cost is now dynamically displayed on the modifier and the skill hovers. I like that a lot. I think that's supposed to be a buff to runic boulders, that you can, the sustain energy scales with spells energy cost, and usually you will have reductions. So I think that means if a boulder costs 2 energy to upkeep normally and you have 50% spell cost reduction, then you only pay 1 energy per turn. So that's quite nice. I wonder though, and I will have to test it when I start playing Geomancy, if you have 3 boulders up for a total of 6 energy cost per turn, if you then have like 20% spell cost reduction, do you pay like 5, or do you pay, or is it per boulder individually or for the whole thing? I don't know, and I'm interested to testing that out. I hope it for the whole upkeep, because then it's going to be much more sustainable to use many boulders. Fixed possibility to take 2 actions per turn with a fast enough clicking. I didn't know that was a thing, but good thing that it's a fixed bug, preventing anyone from spawning in the field. Rains are less frequent, so good for the Pyromancer. I'm sure there was many people complaining about this. Weather effects optimization. If you have performance problems during... I don't have performance problems. Proselyte, dungeon, and corresponding contract danger level was increased when shown on the map in the journal. That makes up for the prologue debuff being removed. So it's just the contract danger level was increased to make sure that you are aware that proselytes are supposed to be dangerous now. So then balance changes. Weapons rebalance. Instead of linear progression, where every sword was slightly better than the previous one, now weapons are divided into continual tiers. Items of the same tier deal the same damage, or roughly the same damage, but have varying bonuses to different secondary stats. Secondary stats bonus are now listed as burst. Instead of giving +1 to 4 to 4 to 5 different stats, they now give significant bonuses to 1 to 3 stats. I like that change. I'm interested to see. I'm probably not going to notice the differences, but I like what I'm reading. Armor rebalance. Mage's Mantle now give less magic school spell power than before. Okay. They were probably too powerful, and mages can sustain more nerfs, I think. That's fine. Enemy rebalance. Used new progression here. Starting enemies became just a bit stronger, while high tier enemies were significantly boosted, since they didn't present much danger to a well-developed character even when having numerical superiority. So let's read that again. Enemy new progression. Starting enemies became a bit stronger, and other enemies became significantly stronger. So every enemy has become stronger than they were before, something to keep an eye out for. That means wolves and bears getting stronger. Yay! That's fine. Increased basic block power, and it's gained from leveling strength. Decreased block power bonuses from most weapons except greatswords. Okay. So that would have been nice in my Ana playthrough. I don't feel like we were missing block power, but apparently it needs a buff. But then you get less from swords. So maybe it would have balanced out. Brigand bosses now may drop enchanted, magical, and cursed items. That's cool. Bosses should give you cool loot, so I think that's nice. I hope that they then use those items, but I doubt it. Then Vivifying Essence has been nerfed, and I think Vivifying Essence was too good, so this is a fine enough nerf. It now lowers morale a bit and drains your energy while you use it, since its users didn't give any tactical consequences aside from skipping turn. I like that change. Vivifying Essence are not supposed to be healing potions. Healing potions, I hope, are worth more than a Vivifying Essence. But Vivifying Essence still good to carry around. Wolves had their damage increased. Ouch. Their attack now also have bleed chance. Their vision range was reduced to make avoiding them early game easier. Now this change here I do not like. For me, wolves are supposed to sneak up on you, not the other way around, if you think about it. And them aggroing at a lower range, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. But making them more deadly and higher bleed chance does make sense. I would have preferred that instead you just lowered the amount of wolves, the spawn rate of them, and then maybe boosted the XP just a little bit to compensate from wolves. So not a big fan of this particular change, but then they are more deadly. So if you do aggro them, they are harder to kill now. Well, they're more deadly. They're not harder to kill. Enemy spawn rates in dungeons were increased. Now enemies are a little bit more common than one mob per 2 to 3 rooms. Okay, that's so you get more enemies in dungeons or all around. Okay, that's fine. I think they were way too dispersed in dungeons, so this is a nice change. That also means higher XP gain per dungeon, more loot. Light armor now gives bonus bleeding resistance. That's fair. Leeches, pain gain was reduced. Okay, so leeches have been buffed. I've never used leeches in Stoneshard yet, so maybe we're getting closer to me actually using them. Skeleton's damage resistances has been lowered to crushing resistance. Oh, they have been buffed against crushing resistance, and they have been buffed against slashing resistance. Okay, they're getting stronger against both. Unholy Altar. Completing ritual now decreases sanity and morale more, while buffing for less turns. Okay, so completing ritual and using the Unholy Altar for your buff has been nerfed. Destroying the altar now no longer dazes, I think it's supposed to say, enemies on floor, but debuffs them with a random effect. Alright, and we did see that in the Ana playthrough. I managed to kill one Necromancer boss because I destroyed an altar, and apparently that dazed all enemies on the floor. Now they give a random debuff instead. That's cool. I like randomness. So this is nice. And the debuff with dazes to all enemies on the floor is way too powerful, for sure. But with a random effect might still be a daze, so you could get lucky. Then we're going into Jorgrim here. Starting Norse Blaze was replaced by the Traveler Blade since it was too good for a starting item. Again, he's nerfed. I still think he's the weakest character. He's getting nerfed all the time. Maybe I'm wrong about him, I don't know. I'm assuming he's good in late game. His trait, because then there will be more enemies and you can better justify just running in and then having your rolling snowball ability going on. He's probably strong, but I think early game he's just so weak. Jorgrim now has 8 starting bonus attributes instead of 10, like all other characters. So another nerf. Apparently he had 10 starting bonus attributes before. Didn't know. Didn't care. Fixed extremely high moose spawning rates in some biomes. They won't move in herds anymore. Okay. I've never seen a moose herd. So, whatever. Shouts generate more noise. Alright, I've never used a shout before, but maybe we should try that out sometime. Breaking stone and wooden objects now creates more noise. Okay. I have been meaning to stop breaking stone and wooden objects in dungeons before I've cleared a floor, because we tend to aggro enemies way too early, and that's not ideal. Abilities. Energy cost of weapon stances were increased. Pyromantic spells were increased, and energy cost of great swords skills were increased. Okay, so another Pyromancy nerf. They keep nerfing the Pyromancer, and I think the general consensus is that the Pyromancer was the strongest one at the start, so that's probably fine. Rebalanced weapon stances. Get a lot of different stances that have been nerfed. I'm looking for one that I've been using. Weapon stances, and then here we come into Pyromancy. Fire Barrage has been nerfed, but bonus damage to burning targets have been increased. Incineration nerfed. Ring of Fire boosted. Okay, buffed up. So I've never used Ring of Fire, but this might be the reason to start using it. Ring of Fire, Fire Rest debuff also buffed, so it does more, or it lowers their fire resistance more. And Pyromancy is excess heat, replenishes more max energy for each burning enemy. So some rebalancing on Pyromancy, which I think are fine. Alright. Shield Surprise Unrush has been nerfed. Okay. Let's look for another one that I've been using. I never got to Fencer Stance, but apparently it has been nerfed. So that's important because the enemies use Fencer Stance a lot. I see. But then again, some dodge chance. Overall, a nerf. Yeah. Okay. That's cool because that's a buff to us because the enemies use Fencer Stance a lot. Same with Painful Stabs. The enemies use that. We might use that in the Hunter playthrough. It has been nerfed. Okay. Ranged combat. We might use that one. Added plus 3.5% hit chance per tier. Okay, cool. That's good for us, I think. Alright, and in economy, decreased reward difficulty scaling by 15 to 20%. Base rewards were slightly decreased as well. Decreased reward difficulty scaling. I don't know what reward difficulty scaling is, but base rewards were slightly decreased as well. Rewards must be for completing a quest, and I'm not really sure how to read this one here. Slightly increased wolf health prices since they're quite savage again. Okay, gotta watch out for those wolves then. But then pay more might be enough to start hunting them. Disenchantment scroll price. Okay. I don't think that's necessary, but whatever. Crates and barrels drop less coin, but more often to make breaking them a little bit more fun. Nice. And road cards have less generous loot. That's nice. I think road cards, sometimes they're even unguarded and they give you such good loot. So no more of that. And then the final one, up here, a small hotfix. Visual fixes. Hanging modifies icon caused by killing a mob while examining him. Okay. So that's it for the changelogs. I hope everyone enjoyed this little walkthrough. For those of you who don't like reading these things yourself, I'm hoping you will enjoy my Hunter playthrough coming up sometime later today. And that's all, folks. So thank you for watching, and bye-bye.